Hi guys, welcome to the channel Practical Reefer. So my name's Mark as always. Tonight or today, it's a bit late when I'm filming this. I'm actually going to be adding some new cleanup crew. I had plans of going and getting some extra snails and a couple of emerald crabs just to help with the algae, and I ended up with a sea hare and a tuxedo urchin, so that worked out well. Um, so tuxedo urchin, brilliant algae eater. He's currently just under my mushrooms there. You'll not see him. I'll get the camera on him in just a minute. I've got some footage of him as well, and there's, I don't know if you'll see it there under my algae, but this section of rockwork here, you can see a trail where he's basically taking the rock back to near enough white. There's a bit of a film on it, just ever so slightly, but he's stripped it of all the algae and things. And you can see a few bits and pieces. One thing I did do the other week as well, might be an interesting tip for people. This archway here that has the bit of egg crate on it and loads of frags sitting on it at the moment, a bit messy looking, and also I've got loads of frags today. That's something else that I've got, but I'll do that in another video. This archway, I actually took it out of the tank, sat it on a towel, and took excuse me one minute, bought a £3 pack of wire and nylon brushes from B&M's, so pennies. I'd actually ordered them from Screwfix. I forgot to pick them up. That was a week ago, but I found them in stock in B&M's when I'd ordered them from Screwfix, and it was like, oh, you can collect that in 3 days. I was like, oh, that's not quick enough. Need to cancel that order. I did use the, what do they call it? What's the third one? There's a nylon brass and a steel brush. Now the brass brush I didn't use at all because brass has copper in it, if I remember correctly. I used the steel brush briefly, and I washed it with plain water, and I'll never use it again because the potential for it to have rusted, and if I put it back in the tank, it's not going to be good. However, there's a nylon plastic brush which I used. So this archway came out. It did get a bit of treatment off the steel brush, so steel should be fine. Maybe a bit of iron might come off, but it was kind of rinsed after. And however, the big tower that I've got there got a bit of treatment from the nylon brush, and it's a stiff wire brush. Obviously it's not quite as aggressive as the metal one, but it's better than a toothbrush, and that was a good job of taking a lot of the very, it's almost like astroturf on some of my rock work. It's nothing wild, but it's just not that nice. It's not that Instagram look on a lot of my rock work. But it's getting there, it's maturing. It's only, what, 4 or 5 months old, the tank, or the rock work anyway. The tank's not been up quite as long. It was a month where it was in a box. So that was something else that I did manually. The focus seems a bit off there. That was something I did manually myself, just to like, so that piece of rock looks, it's just a sort of dull grey now, and I've taken off but like all the algae. So that's quite a good start. That piece I haven't taken out because the GSP on it, and I didn't. I'll maybe do that one in a couple of weeks or something and give that one a good brush. But to be fair, the main structure, which is further away from the window, is actually not too bad. But these two pieces closer to the window just has that little bit more light. So back to cleanup crew. So that was a bit of manual removal that I did with the algae. What I also did was obviously added the urchin, and I've got a sea hare which is rocking about. I'll show you that in a minute. So guys, this is one of my new bits of cleanup crew, which was actually a hitchhiker. Excuse my dog in the background, it's someone's annoying it. Now this is a sea hare. This was a bit of a hitchhiker. Also excuse the algae, I'm kind of on full whites here just to get the camera a bit better. I just saw the sea hare appear, so rather than running to get the filters and it disappearing and then not being able to film it for a few days if I don't find it. But pretty cool little piece of kit. Total hitchhiker. I know they have some issues if they die and they can give off toxins and things, but it's very, very small at the moment. It might be something I get rid of later on, but it's a cool little hitchhiker. They eat lots of algae. Pretty cool. It's almost just like a big snail. Excuse the focus. Try and get that in there. Let's try to focus on the glass. But yeah, it's going about, seems to be doing its job. And then the other piece of cleanup crew, again, excuse the full whites, is my urchin. So I've got some other footage of that as well. Let me just pop the blues back on. He looks okay in the blues. But unfortunately the sea urchin is, the sea hare is quite hard to see. But that's him going about the rock there. So yeah, pretty cool for doing algae. And then I've got mollies coming on the way as well as my male that I've got in there. Excuse the focus again. Pop that back in. But yeah, so that's really cool. That's a total hitchhiker. I'm pretty sure he's come off of this piece of rock which got added last week. So that's probably where he's come from there. But yeah, really cool little creature. Pretty happy with that. And I've seen him quite a few times. it's not something that I'm always like, oh, I know I've got it in there, but I never ever see it. I see it every day, so it pops out quite a lot, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, that's the sea hare that I've got. So guys, talking about algae removal, as you'll have seen in my videos, quite a few of my rocks have this sort of algae on it. Let me just turn the blues off. We'll go full white. I think the camera will adjust that a little bit. So yeah, some of my rocks are like that. This one here with my GSP in it, so you know this gets a bit more light being at the front of the tank from the window, which is quite far from the tank, but it still gets that light. Let me just actually turn the lights up. There we go. So yeah, you can see that algae there. Now this rock at the front was exactly the same. It was covered in the sort of the green algae that we see on this rock here. So what I did with that is I took the brushes I just mentioned in the intro there. It was more the steel brush. I wouldn't use the brass one because if one of the bristles came off, it has copper in it, and it would be in the tank for quite some time, and obviously my peppermint shrimp wouldn't take well to that. So the steel one got used. Basically, I took this archway out, put it on a towel and gave it a good scrub, so I was able to get a good bit of effort into it, and just scrubbed it right down. So you know it was all like this, and I've just taken it right back to the rock. So bit of a hard reset there. Obviously we need to deal with the nutrients and get things mature, and then that'll solve the issue. But it's a nice bit of a reset there. Used more of the nylon brush at the front there. I used the nylon brush on the top of this rock here, so you can see I've scraped a fair bit of that back. The arm at the front there, I didn't go too heavy because obviously it's an overhang. Oh, and I've just seen there's a new micro brittle star there, which is quite nice. Looking forward to them spreading through the tank. And you'll also see there, I'll have mentioned in other bits of the videos, that's where the urchin kind of made a path through there. He's been living mostly on this rock the last week, so that's where he's been doing all his good work. What I'll show you just now is there's actually a little video of my sea hare on the front glass. What I'm saying in the videos is maybe repeating myself because I grabbed the camera and got a video of it while I could, because sometimes it's not out, but I do see it most days actually, to be fair. And then I'll have another video of showing you the urchin doing his work, so we'll show you those just now. So guys, here's my sea hare. I see it every now and again. It actually comes out quite a bit. And there is, excuse the focus, and that's it there. Probably not the best, but quite a cool little creature. And hopefully gets a bit bigger and continues to eat algae, but nice little hitchhiker there. So guys, here we are 2 days after I got my pincushion urchin. Now he floated about down here a little bit, and I can actually see a little bit of a trail there just on that rock. You can see here there's a couple of bits missing, but he has created an absolute trail of destruction through the algae on this piece of rock here. Excuse the glare, I might actually switch the blues off. You can kind of see it there, it's pretty glaring. It's not as bad as that in real life. There's a bit of glare coming off the whites there and reflections and stuff, but absolutely has mown through any of the algae there. That bit wasn't too bad, to be fair. It just had the green film on it, or just, you know, just your sort of usual normal rock, kind of like this sort of stuff here. Just a very slight covering which the snails had been dealing with and keeping in check. I can't wait for him to get up to where the molly is and have a good go at stuff like this, and get that sorted hopefully. But some clove polyps, some bits of GSP on a rock there. But yeah, absolutely steaming through all the algae and just taking the rock back to near enough pure white. There's a bit of glare on the lights there. It isn't pure white, but it's pretty damn clean. If he can do that all around the tank, it'd be pretty damn white. It'd be quite impressive. But yeah, what a cool little creature. Never thought I had one before, and then I just saw them in the LFS. I knew a bit about them and did a quick bit of research on my phone, but absolutely fantastic. Can't wait for him to get around the rest of the tank and it'll look great. So that's a really good tool in the fight against algae, I think. Fantastic little creature. So we'll look at that and we'll come back. So guys, that's my 3 options for algae control. Obviously you've got the good old snails and sort of hermit crabs, emerald crabs, things like that. That's what I'd initially gone to the shop to get, was an emerald crab to sort of pick at things like this. I don't really want hermits because I don't want to be leaving loads of shells in the tank, and I don't want them attacking my snails, even though quite often people get away with it, and some won't attack, some will. Sometimes sometimes it just depends on the actual snail, not the breed or the species. So I went with that. So good old wire brush. even a nylon plastic one, you'd normally get them in packs of 3, and they were £3. So I mean, that was great to take this rock out and just give it a good scrub. I also used the brushes there to do the top piece at the back. Excuse the little tiny refugium, I've thrown some mushrooms in there. So that got a bit of a scrub, and then the urchins sort of created that trail there, and he's also cleaned up this piece of live rock that I got. So you can see there in the middle, there's a section with a bit of algae on it, and then the rest of it he's actually cleaned up quite well. He's currently living mostly on this big piece of rock, which is my least affected by algae, so probably need to actually relocate him over to here to start working on this piece. I think that's going to be the best thing. And then also, just one thing with the sea hare, I can't actually see it at the moment to show you. They do have the potential to release toxins if they're attacked or bothered. Also, if they die, they can release toxins. So something to be wary of. Do a little bit of research, and consider your options. Mine came in as a hitchhiker. I'm quite happy with it, so I'll keep it in there. But as we say, and then my other option is also going to be saltwater mollies. I've got some acclimate, and I've had a male that I've had in there for about 6 weeks now. He's had his tail nipped a little bit, but I think it's because he's trying to get involved with the female clown an awful lot, and he's just not her type, so I think that's what's happening there. So there's a female going in, so that'll keep him a bit more occupied, and he'll leave her alone as much as he loves her. I think that's the problem. But in terms of otherwise, he's been great. I mean, he's been in there 6 weeks. It's just the last couple of days someone's given his tail a nip, so excuse the focus. So we'll get that sorted, and we'll have another video all about mollies in the next few days. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Give me a little comment below. What other methods have you got for removing algae? And give me a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you all next time.